Arn, the finish of this match involved newly made heel. You saw him. You saw who flew in there at the end. Flying Brian Pillman. And he gets you and Bobby DQ'd in this match. And I want to take a moment to talk about Brian and where he's at this point in time in 1992. Because, Arn, this is the first of two of Pillman's heel runs. Reportedly, Brian's not pleased with the way he's being portrayed by Bill Watts. Imagine that. Watts told him they would job him out every week, and Pillman responded by telling him he would gladly be the highest paid jobber on TV. Pillman worked against the likes of Brad Armstrong, Marcus Bagwell, and Shane Douglas. Double A, you think a lot of Brian Pillman. We've talked about him, as I said, on this show as both the man and the performer, and you're very instrumental in his development as a professional wrestler. But as a lifelong heel with no babyface skills, how do you think Brian did as a heel during this time?
Well, if I remember correctly, they're trying to cut his contract.
Yes.
In mid-contract.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where if you want to stay here, we're going to have to cut your money. And now, legally, they couldn't do that, obviously, because Brian said no. Right?
Yeah.
If there was not going to be any life after the term of his contract, fine, he'll be the highest paid job guy in the business. I think that's the way the story laid out. But he refused to let them screw him in that matter. This was one of those things that you don't get over with your newly acquired talent roster by telling all these guys, I'm going to have to cut your money. Brian took it as a challenge to, okay, I got a short amount of time to make a big impact, and he took it on. And he was as good as he developed into what we thought was a heel as he ever was as a babyface, because you couldn't tell what was Brian and what was the lunatic. Who was the lunatic, who was Brian. And it was just starting. I think this would probably be the beginning, right?
I mean, this is the first opportunity he has to be a heel, and he's not necessarily there at that loose cannon persona yet. Obviously, that was when he really hit his stride, becoming a heel. I mean, you just said it. He was that smarmy, arrogant chicken shit heel that made, the most of his opportunities and et cetera. But I just, Bill Watts is here. Oh, fine. You don't like the pay? You don't like this? I'm going to job your ass. It's just, really, is that what's best for business? You got a strong performer here that's performed well, done well. He's over with the crowd. And just because you have a guy who's upset with his money, you're going to go ahead and make these booking decisions based on your relationship with him behind closed doors. And I just challenge that way of thinking when it comes to booking wrestling. It's just not best for, like I said, I know it's a cliche line, but best for business.
Well, if you got guys that are happy with the company, that want to be there, that are glad to be there, they're going to kill themselves for you. Because that's the nature. You want to stay there. You want to, if you enjoy being part of that company, you're going to do whatever you can do to keep it strong. That's it.